The ocean makes up a huge portion of our planet, and because it's just so huge, it's, not all that much is really known about it. There's just really a lot of uncertainty still, and additionally with climate change being an issue, there's data that needs to be collected about ocean acidification, about currents, and all these sorts of things to better understand, what's the world going to look like in 20, 50 years, and understand what we can do to protect it.
We're trying to build a wind-powered autonomous boat to cross the Atlantic. There aren't good existing technologies for sending stuff out into the ocean for long periods of time that can run on its own power, that don't need human control. So kind of this project is kind of a prototype vehicle to show that we can send vehicles into the Atlantic that can withstand the environmental conditions, that can stay out there for long periods of time, so say 2 months, and can run on its own power and control itself autonomously.
People use this saying all the time, and I think it's cool that more of space has been explored than the ocean floor. Once you're out on the ocean, if any part of your system, any vital part of your system breaks down, there is not a whole lot you can do about it, and there are a lot of surprises between fouling and waves and storms.
It's, crossing the Atlantic Ocean, but really crossing the ocean is just a test of can the vessel really be robust enough to stay out in the ocean environment for, months at a time, collecting data, moving to different areas.
A lot of other schools, companies have tried this, and I think the biggest limitations is just, you're spending, to kind of cross the Atlantic on your own power, so using wind power, you're going slow, and so it's a long journey. You're going through cold, harsh seas, coming across, saltwater, biofouling. So I think really just the mechanical strain just put on any vehicle that crosses is pretty large. They've been working on this for years, design of a turbine alone, or different sailing mechanisms alone is like a huge project in itself. People have written theses on these. People have kind of spent years perfecting, and there's still a lot to perfect. And we're kind of taking this massive project, throwing 9 students at it, and kind of in 1 semester time constraint, making it happen. We've learned a lot throughout the whole process. Kind of the boat we have now is not the boat we started with. So I think we did a good job of designing and prototyping some things early, and very quickly learned a lot. Very quickly with our turbine prototype, kind of learned, how the current strategy we had for airfoils wouldn't work, and then very quickly with the boat prototype we had, kind of figured out some things in terms of stability and overall boat dimensions that we knew wouldn't work. So I think the challenge is that we've continued to learn a lot, and have always, and kind of throughout the process, have continued on improving our design.
Each piece interacts with the others, so there's a lot of iteration that has to go on. So, if you put too big a wind turbine, it might have too big a moment and tip the boat over. You might have to widen the beam of the boat. Then maybe you need to add more power, and, bigger propellers or whatever. So, constant iteration is necessary, but when you're limited in time, that's very difficult.
We think that there is a pretty good market in terms of science and also defense for long-term data collection or surveying on the oceans. And to do that, now you need lots of personnel, which costs lots of money. Ship time is very expensive. And so if you can do it with autonomous vessels that can run on renewable energy, so it can stay out on the ocean just about indefinitely, that opens up a lot of opportunities for science and data collection on the ocean.
It's great to see kind of, we start out with a whole bunch of these spreadsheets that, calculate, forces and stability and all this. And, in team meetings, we're talking about, well, the boat could look like this, well, maybe if it looked like this, it'd be better. And then kind of now we're at the stage where, we feel confident in our designs, we feel confident in our boat, and now it's like coming to life.